Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Sword. Today we're going to be taking on the second gym of the game, the Hulberry Water-type gym, and if you know your types, you're going to want to bring in water, you're going to want to bring in grass. I've brought in neither. Instead I'm going to use a Dragon type, because that boy needs some leveling. So thank you, Flame.
I mean, you could bring in some water types. I don't think they'd do much. You'd be better with an electric type, if I'm honest.
It's the first part of a recording session. You know damn well what I meant.
Well, you know, when you start this recording session by dissing my favourite chocolate on the Discord chat beforehand, you're gonna fucking get that, aren't ya? Whisper for life.
this is true.
Well, I'm sorry, but Whisper is a chav candy. Crunchy is for the ones with taste.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't like the bits getting stuck in my teeth, but yeah, I will say for this gym, I actually made good use of the Gigantamax Pikachu here, unapologetically, because, you know, they give it to you at the right time, and you can completely sweep with that.
Ironic, seeing as when we did the whole wild area thing, Chonkachu did not have many electric moves to its name, but I guess if you were to continue to level it up at this point, it would be quite ferocious. I think it was Richie, you said Toxel would have been good here if it had the right amount of moves at its disposal, was that right?
Something like... I think, had Toxel, you know, had some moves, and had it been at a reasonable level, and, you know, had reasonable stats, yes, Toxel could be quite good. If you got it to Toxtricity, then yeah, it'd be having a whale of a time, because obviously, electric type does very, very well against water types.
Puzzle-wise, I actually really like this gym, if just for the aesthetic of it. You know me, it doesn't really need to have any depth or substance, so long as it looks pretty, that's the ticket here. And it's a Switch puzzle, haha, Switch puzzle on the Switch. You just gotta hit the things and you gotta make your way to Nessa, and that's about it, really.
Well, you say it hasn't got any depth, but that water there looks quite deep, you know.
I mean, I have to say, this is probably one of the most classic gym puzzles of pretty much most of the gyms, because, I mean, this very much does just remind me of previous gyms. Not that there have been any that have worked exactly the same, but there's so many that have been turn on this switch to get to this place, and variants of that. But it's quite nice, because obviously we have had Milo's, which was very different, and we will have others sort of going forward, which will also be very different. So sort of it's just going round the bases, really.
Sadly, considering some gyms are different between versions, they kind of had to go with the same gym puzzle and then give it a makeover, which you'll be seeing in later parts. So it's I've played one version, how are they going to handle this one? Well, instead of a ghost, there might be just a big punching glove, really.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have to go with just cloning it and recolouring it, they just did.
Well, that's budgets for you, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's also I'm only being given a year, but I feel like we've covered that ground plenty at this point.
Well, we'll have to go back to it at some point, but yes, Flame is correct. We're going to heal up Drago here, who is a girl. I'm sorry for misgendering you, especially in the water-type gym where things are fluid. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, since, you know, this is just kind of doing switches, I feel it's probably a good time to just bring up about sort of Nessa's name, because obviously I do like my names and etymologies. And actually no, because you're going to be quite happy with this, because I'm basically going to say you were right about something. And so, Nessa's name obviously comes from Loch Ness, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But in pretty much every other language, apart from Russian, her name is based on the flower Cupid's dart. So in Japanese it's Rurina, which comes from Ruri Nigana, which is the name for Cupid's dart. In German it's Kate, French Donna, Italian Azzurra, and Spanish Kathy. And basically it's Catenace Cerulia, Cupidone Bleu, Cupidone Azzurro, Catenace Cerulia...
Get to the point, Richie.
So they're all Cupid's dart. So all of the gym leaders in Galar all have names based on flowers or plants of some description, which means that when you said that beads is basically beetroot, you are indeed 100% correct, because...
Ah, my power! It's surging!
Because in Japanese, his name is literally Beat.
You don't have to tell him that.
I know, but I felt like I needed to sort of, make the correction. I was giving them far too much credit by thinking, they'd gone super clever. No, they hadn't. They'd literally just gone for beetroot. And so in English, bead is basically Danish for beet, and then all the others are beetroot.
Alright, we're done here. You have allotted your time. You have run out of names and memes. Now I will just swirl around in this whirlpool until this fucking Krabby stops using Harden, for the love of God.
Well, this is why you should have brought an electric type or a grass type into battle.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
Hey, you told me to go with toxicity. You didn't tell me to deviate from the plan.
Well, I mean, yes, I said to go with Toxtricity because it's a very good Pokemon, but I mean, you could have chosen to, bring some other Pokemon in at the time.
Like, you literally have the Pikachu. You could have just leveled him up a little bit. It wouldn't have taken you that long.
Oh, there's going to be a couple of gyms where we're going to be having this conversation, I think.
Oh, this is not... This is not reassuring for how this playthrough's going to go.
Well, at least Surge is still getting some levels, It's going to be a while before it evolves, but hey, at least we got a sturdy dragon type who not really affected that much by water. What's the difference between something resisting and something not being weak to? Do you happen to know, Flame or Richie?
So, yeah. So resisting basically means it does not get damaged whatsoever, i.e. Goes from normal attacks or goes from fighting attacks, for example. Something that it's not very effective against, it's basically sort of, it's just sort of that step up. It affects it, but it's a bit shit. And then, you've got your going into your regular damage, you double damage, you quad damage, etc.
So, in basic beach terms, it's like one's immune and the other bit shit. That I can understand that much at least.
Good old Flame. At least we have him here to dumb things down.
Okay, well, I mean, you're the one who asked Rich to dumb it down for us in the first place.
Yes, but whatever. It's a water-type puzzle, Jim. What do you want from me, alright?
Well, maybe to bring an electric type in, but clearly we're not getting that much.
Oh, Tom, just tune him out. You'll be done in a couple of hours, mate.
I can make this last all fucking night if you want.
I like Remoraid. I like Octillery as well. Have you actually seen Octillery's beta sprite?
Yes, and I think didn't also Octillery used to have an evolution that got canned?
I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
I just don't get the progression from fish to octopus, though. Like, is there some sort of mythological backing to that or something?
I don't think there is. Basically, I think what the original idea was that it was going to go from a gun to a tank. But obviously, making something look a bit too much like a gun isn't going to really sit well with parents. So, they quickly decided against that.
I want Gonatron, okay? Gonatron evolves into Tankulon.
Yeah, I mean, a tank Pokemon would actually be quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the, whole gun look, they did already have Blastoise.
It's canon, it's different.
Yeah, okay.
You telling me those things are organic? Fuck off.
No, them cannons are made of flesh, It's sort of like Sylveon's ribbons.
Oh, that means he has two peni. No!
Well, I mean, maybe he just likes having two chicks at once. Good on him.
When he evolves, he gets wrist peni.
I mean, some people have had that before, having two of them down there,
Okay. Enough about Knuckles. This is not a Sonic playthrough, alright?
Hey, if we're being precise there, Knuckles has one with 4 heads, so you were wrong in both respects.
Oh god, it's like Mega Hydration.
Well done on this puzzle, by the way.
Shut up, alright? I had the solution, I just did it in the wrong order.
You're showing you're working, are you?
You are testing me tonight, Flame. I was already in a bit of a pissy mood, to be honest.
It's fine. Like, to be fair, this is the part that can kind of throw you off because you do have to sort of backtrack on yourself a little bit, which you hadn't had to do up to this point in the puzzle.
No.
Which I suppose that is just fair enough. You know, it's like trying to introduce the concept, then fuck you over a little bit once you feel confident with it. Just got to break your spirit that little bit like, before the actual boss.
Try to do basic maths over here, and it's like, oh god, there's a variable.
Oh god, I've got to carry what now? No, they're bringing decimals in. Fuck this shit.
There we go. Gym over.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, in reality, that is definitely the toughest bit of the gym because it does just throw that extra little bit in that does just throw you off a little bit.
Okay, now we prepare, and we ask the immortal question of, why the hell is the water so loud in this gym?
Yeah! Well, I mean, to be fair, it's because you didn't get those headphones, so you can't turn it down, you know, but...
Are you seriously blaming me for the developers not balancing their audio correctly?
Yes, Tom, it's clearly all your fault for everything.
They
Like, my
gave
God,
you
it's
an
just so
option to
obvious.
fix it, and you didn't take it.
Instead of fucking balancing the audio before we put these videos out, I'm going to send everyone a pair of cheap headphones. How about that?
I mean, sure, I don't think we got the budget for that.
We don't have a budget to send out pictures of headphones.
But yeah, no, in all seriousness, they really should have fixed that audio balancing, but there we go. We're into the battle, and here's Nessa. Yay!
Woo!
I do have to point out the fact that crashing water is naturally very loud, as it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay, why didn't they put like a swimming pool in this particular thing? It would have been very advantageous for water types.
Because then they might have had to actually do something with it.
I guess just paint the place blue, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's putting it on a level playing ground, because, you know, like, there are certain types of Pokemon that literally would not be able to fight at all in a swimming pool.
I love how the game is praising me when I nearly got the puzzle wrong back there.
Well, I suppose it's one of them things like, you know, a bit of gameplay story dissonance, and the fact that it's meant to be like a challenge that the challengers have to overcome, rather than just a minor gameplay feature.
I wish I was that nimble. Alas, I'm going to punt this fish into the stratosphere to make up for it.
Yeah, like, although saying that, the fact we've got a fucking flying Goldeen, maybe we should have had a swimming pool.
Yeah, the water types suffer the most from, like, the 3D in Pokemon, I think.
Yeah, they do. Largely because, like, it just makes no sense. At all. Like, this should just be, you know, flopping on the ground / not be able to breathe at all.
That's going to be me after recording, honestly.
I mean, that's me during.
You asshole. I'm getting worked up over here, and then I'm just going to stomp.
You don't know Stomp, though.
God, I hate you. I hate you so much.
But yeah, this is a very good tactic for most things. Like, any kind of moveset that has, like, Dragon Dance or Work Up or whatever, anything that improves your attacks. Something that a lot of people have done in the past is basically you sort of ramp them up and then you just absolutely smash through your opponent's team. It's a pretty popular tactic.
This is the zenith of my Pokemon strategy, I hope you realise.
See, that's still more than I usually do. I normally just keep wailing on the guy until he dies.
I like Arrokuda. I like Barrascuda as well. I don't think we're actually going to see one of those, sadly.
Well, like, to be fair, if you get coverage elsewhere, you don't really need it. But, like, they are cool designs as Pokemon. I did use one for a little while in my Sword run until I went back to Basic Bitch Gyarados. Similar with my Shield run, where I used Whiscash for a lot of it, and then toward the end, that shiny Magikarp event happened, so I had an excuse to go and get another Gyarados.
Is that Magikarp event still ongoing?
No, it ended on the 3rd.
No.
So I was going about and I saw like a level 5 raid for a Magikarp, but it was just a normal non-shiny one.
Yeah, no, like, in the raid there were a handful of different Pokemon that could come up. So there was standard Magikarp, there was the shiny one, and then there was like your others like your Snorlax and your Butterfree and shit like that. So like it was a little bit RNG, but then you can use that sort of exploit to reset them.
I got you.
if you don't get the ones you want. So yeah.
Finally, we were free from flinch spam. All right, she's gonna send out her ace here, the champion Dreadnought.
And you know, since she's on her last Pokemon, number 49 in Japanese wordplay is Oyogu, which means to swim.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was going to say, Dreadnought here, we talked about his pre-evolution, which I really don't like. Dreadnought itself is a much better design. This is the one we saw first, from what I recall.
Yes.
And, like, yeah, this is an okay, like, not the sort of Pokemon that I will go out of my way to use, but at least it's not ugly like Calot Squirtle like the base one is.
Gigantamax Dreadnought just kind of looks like when I would turn a toy upside down and it would be the evil version of the toy.
It's like the Handcastle one.
You know, I never realised that the Eggman statue turns into Neo Metal Sonic.
No, that is like a cool little bit of foreshadowing in that level, isn't it?
I have a giant taunt.
Bless her. It's kind of cute. Shame you're going to evolve into a hideous but powerful beast later.
Oh yes, please drench me in water that I resist.
This is totally worth your time. Poor dragon was very slightly inconvenienced there.
Well, slight correction on my part, it wasn't immune, it was just not very effective. You listened to Richie earlier in the part, why didn't you take it in?
Although, I mean, to be fair, like, the resistant can mean sort of many things, so, like, you're fine.
And in the TCG, it just means that it's really annoying when you're trying to set up, because it means that you can, like, really cripple yourself on the first turn if the opponent is resistant to yours, because it will take you much longer to set up your deck.
Neat.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Although, to be fair, like, I think it was around Diamond Pearl where they did retcon it a bit, so resistances are now -20 rather than -30, so it's a little bit fairer in that respect, but
Well, that's good.
it's interesting that they changed that, yet they've restored the weaknesses back to ×2, so weakness is kind of OP in the TCG nowadays, I feel.
I gotta say, I haven't really played the TCG since, like, the base set and jungle days, honestly.
Yeah, well, they've completely changed the pacing of it, because it used to be that the Pokemon themselves were quite slow moving, it'd take you a little while to set up, but it'd be the trainers that were essentially overpowered, really, like they'd let you cycle through cards a lot. Nowadays it's the other way around, because like the Pokemon hit really hard, and they've done that to speed the game up a lot, but pretty much all of the trainer cards have since been nerfed, like since the introduction of supporters, rather than just letting you spam them each turn. Now it's like, if you want to go find a certain card, then it's going to take you longer to get that out.
Interesting. Cope, you lost.
You're the second gym leader, you should be used to losing.
Oh man, I love how big a deal they make of the next one as well. The next one's where I'm gonna fucking stomp.
It's a fire type gym, you can sweep it easily.
And I love the fire type as well, but so many weaknesses.
I know. I do find that whole thing hilarious. So, obviously, the key thing here that's going to get mentioned in the next couple of parts is that Kabu, who is the fire-type gym leader, is basically the point on most people's gym challenge where they fail miserably because it's just so difficult.
Come again?
And it's just like, yeah. I don't know whether I quite believe that, but I mean, hey, he's old, so like experience or something.
Yeah, it's basically that.
Because no one can be fucked to go and catch a Gyarados or some shit and just sweep him.
Or you could do what I do and get a Roller Curly, because his ace is fire and bug, or bug and fire, one of the two.
Well, whatever works, yeah. But again, fire has so many fucking weaknesses, you can sweep it with basically anything.
Alas. We should pick up some merch while we're here. Do they have any programs, some t-shirts, maybe commemorative candy and whatnot?
No, they do have all of the other uniforms that aren't gym battle costumes or whatever, which I have to say that was something that sort of did annoy me slightly, is that obviously you've got all these uniforms that you get and that you can buy, but you can't wear them in the gym challenge, they're for outside. It was just like, but what if I like that better than I like the gym challenge outfit?
Yeah, that confused me a little bit. Also, on the run-up to Sword and Shield, there was a rumour that there was going to be 18 gyms in the game. There isn't. There are 18 gyms in lore, apparently. There's the minor league, and then there's the major league. And all the gyms that you don't find in the game are part of the minor league. So, normal, poison, flying, get the fuck out of here. You are small time.
Yeah, which, I mean, is kind of depressing that it's not featured in some way, because I remember when that all got mentioned, and I remember just being very confused, because I was just like, wait, are they going to do that? Like, or are we going to get some in the minor league in this and some not, or whatever? Like, was there going to be a split somewhere for Sword and Shield? But no, the minor league gyms just are not present at all. I think that could have been something that could have been sort of a fun addition, basically along the lines of the dojo in Kanto.
Yeah.
Just like something small like that for the minor league ones would have just been a nice little addition, but hey, these things happen.
I feel like that's another example of this game sort of telling rather than showing, and they do use that as a crutch for quite a few things. Like, it's that sort of trying to do some proper world building without actually world building.
Yes.
It's just, if we tell you about this other stuff that happens, then just take our word for it, guys. It's fine.
I want a table shaped like a boat.
I mean, that is pretty cool.
I mean, it's not a table, but it's a very cool desk.
Alright, let's have dinner with Captain Dadbod over here.
I will say I'm normally not the type to like dressing up for meals and that, but I'm starting to wish this restaurant did have a dress code.
How low are these chairs exactly? Look at the difference here!
Yeah, it's kind of insane. Like, that's basically going up to Oleana's knee.
I'm enjoying that Wingull just chilling in the background there.
See, that's the kind of world building I do like, just Pokemon chilling and whatnot, you know?
Is that guy still up there? I can't see him.
He is obscured by the window pane.
Yeah, you won't be able to see him from this angle anyway, although I suspect he probably is.
Just in case you're wondering what's going on here, Dynamax, 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 Wishing Star, Professor, Dynamax.
Basically, yeah.
You know, I was watching Vinny play Pokemon Moon earlier. I've got to say, the difference in, like, story and whatnot is kind of phenomenal.
It is, yeah, because like that's the thing that I can say for Sun and Moon in particular. They did really go above and beyond in trying to bring a more in-depth story into Pokemon, and that I feel that that's another reason why this kind of stings a bit, in the fact that it's like there's nothing.
Well, it has more personality, I think, than X and Y. X and Y is really, like, the most bland sort of thing, with, like, all those people who, like, travel with you, and the team being really stupid and whatnot, and the Elite Four being basically a bunch of nobodies and so on. There's not really much to glom onto there. Not to, you know, get me started about the fucking champion or anything. Jesus.
Well, so the thing with X and Y is that it's kind of, like, it is pretty basic in terms of like the characterization and that, but I feel like they were clinging a bit to the whole Mega Evolution and the background of that, and you know, and that was introduced in the alternate universe sort of implied stuff as well. So like it did have that going for it. Like, this doesn't touch any of the outside world really, at least in the main story, and it seems a little bit disjointed in that way, I feel.
Well, we're in a post-Brexit Galar timeline, I guess.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, it's slightly terrifying how accurate that is.
Well, off Sonya goes. She'll be back to give us more items later. That's what she does in the story.
Basically, yes. I mean, she also gives us lore, which, I mean, is nice, but it's not the most interesting of things at times. I have to say that with the whole plot thing, it's kind of interesting, because the first time that I remember the plot of a Pokemon game feeling actually really quite amazing was Black and White. And then obviously we had a bit of a dip with X and Y, and then obviously Sun and Moon picked it back up again, and we've had a bit of a dip again here. So I wonder whether if that is a pattern that sort of is accurate, and that means that the next Pokemon games that we get have more of a story, because one of the things that Game Freak I've noticed do tend to do is they sort of flip-flop a little bit when it comes to sort of audience reaction.
They sure do, and that's about all the time we have for this. So I'll leave you with a wonderful 4. Sun and Moon story depth with the quality of life features of Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
That's good eating. And we're done here, so we can leave Hullberry's music behind, for lack of a better word. And we'll see you next time when the Pokemon Sword playthrough continues. Bye-bye.